Stellan's mill used to grow the sweetest berries in the spring. I wonder where we'll get them from now.
up the pace, Squire. We must hasten to our next adventure. Where do your scribbles lead you?
So today I intend to get into crafting furniture. Unfortunately, most of the really good stuff to craft requires crafting writs. No. Wait, what's the currency? There's a currency for buying exclusive recipes, crafting recipes. I can't think of what that is right now, but I have to get more of those in order to get the really good stuff, like crafting stations. I got my first station yesterday for crafting potions, since I use a lot of those. Otherwise, I still have a lot of like furniture and stuff to learn how to craft, so I'm gonna get into that. I have a lot of housing all over the world. I don't actually know how many in total, but I've got almost one place in every area that allows you to buy a place, and they're all pretty empty. So, and I've been meaning to get into furnishing them, since I really enjoy crafting in other MMOs, like Final Fantasy XIV. It's one of my favorite things to do, and that's because I've always been a big fan of The Sims, for instance. And I don't enjoy like doing the cheats to build stuff. I prefer to actually like play the game to have the character gain a career, and then earn the income necessary to buy items for the sim to interact with. And I play a lot of MMOs in a similar fashion. I try to learn their market and exploit it to a certain degree, and then get the recipes if necessary or whatever to craft items to furnish my homes. And my apartment and home in Final Fantasy XIV is pretty well furnished. They're actually to the point to where they're kind of cluttered. I need more real estate. Where this game's the opposite. I have all this real estate, but very little in terms of furnishing in them. So I need to do that. I'm just so used to logging in and doing the writs to get income, I guess. And that's why I'm sitting on like 3 million, but I haven't really spent it on much, so. Looks like I need to hunt down some treasure here. Is this quest? was it this one over here? It is. So let's head over there and see what's going on. Oh, I just took your drink, buddy. We'll see if I need to refine anything down here. Free up some of my inventory. Yeah, look at that. That's a lot. I like how refining materials, it actually yields a lot of extra material in doing so. You'll see it on the right side there. Well, that one only did the ancestral silk, but when I did all that wood, it gave me a bunch of extra material for crafting as well. Like this one probably will. You'll see a lot of things pop up there. Yeah, see the oil and quartz, which is like meant for a style, for crafting a certain style. Uh-oh, inventory is full. So I need to consider going to merch. I think I'll do that real quick. Let's cancel this quest. I can come back for that some other time. When I have all these writs to do, I didn't even remember to do those. I got right into hunting down my location maps for materials. Forgot to even do the writs, and I usually collect the materials from those maps after I do the writs. I have a couple of them, I think. Oh, I only had the one. Okay. I'm sure I have other characters that need to go out and collect materials as well. So I'll hop over and do that after I'm done with Vedvida here. But first, I need to sell some stuff. Make room so I can even craft the items necessary to finish those writs. So I'm selling anything that's over 200 in my bank, because then I don't need it. And then anything over 200 in my inventory as well, I'll get rid of it. And I don't typically engage in selling extra excess materials on the guild store, simply because I find that it takes longer to even get the sale than it is just to sell it at any merchant. And just, even though it's at like a major discount by comparison, like I can sell most materials in the store for several times more than a merchant would buy it for. But yeah, like I said, just the time it takes to even bother to get it isn't really worth it to me. I'm likely accumulating more in the process of going out, collecting the materials, and then selling it the excess amount over 200 at a merch than I am bothering with the bank. I guess technically I could do both, but I just don't. I don't know. It's just not really worth it to me. I guess if I was more involved with the guild that I'm a part of, then maybe I would do that. But I don't really get too much involved with guilds and groups and whatnot in MMOs. Alexa, stop. Like I used to. And even when I did join a group, they were always just kind of in the background. I was still basically solo playing. I wasn't really doing anything with them. And a lot of the time I found whenever I did interact with somebody, whenever I did interact with the guild, I end up getting wrapped up in some of their conniving drama between each other, and folks wanting to pick sides between members in order to maintain that drama. And I'm just not I'm not interested in any of that. I like drama in fiction, not so much in real life. At least not getting involved. It is fun, you know, to witness it from the sidelines, I guess, but to get pulled into it, I'm not into that at all. I'm not interested. Just gonna check the audio on the stream real quick. Make sure my voice isn't too loud or the game isn't too loud or whatever. I just ordered a new external USB mic because I couldn't find my old one, and so I should have that by next week. So that will hopefully improve the audio, especially for my voice, because the microphone on this thing is horrible. It sounds like I'm on an old-time radio, like a 1940s military broadcast or something. It's really crap. But I'm just going to check it real quick here. I guess it sounds okay. At least. Unlike the last GTA broadcast I did, I don't know what happened. The microphone really crapped out on that one. And I had tested several times before I went live. And when I listened to the playback, it was really bad. Like all of the audio, you could barely hear anything. I'm considering even taking it down. I might delete that VOD after I make a few more. Right now I'm leaving it up just because I don't really have much content on this channel yet, but I'll probably get rid of it eventually. Especially after I get the new mic, then I'll probably start at that point. I'll just clean out the ones that are really bad. Or I might leave them and see what people say. That might be interesting, getting some engagement. But I don't want it to compromise folks to, like, who watch that and think, like, oh, damn, is that what that guy's broadcast is like every time? That's crap. I don't want to see that. You know? I don't have a mic holder though, and it looks like the mic that I ordered it looks kind of large, about the size of like a tennis ball can or something. So, and it kind of looked like it required a mic stand, so I'll have to figure something out with that. The desk that I have here in front of me doesn't really have a lot of space, so yeah, I don't know. I'll figure that out. I'll figure it out. I forgot what I've already crafted with all my rambling here. I'm like returning to tables I've already been to. Let's see. Oh, enchanting and woodworking. Alright. Woodworking. I bet they're in the same area. Let's see, enchanting. Oh, wait, I need to buy a Pode rune. I don't have any of those in my inventory, it looks like. Oh, I do have 60 in the bank. Oh well, I'll buy one anyways. No big deal. And then woodworking. Where are the woodworking? There they are. Alright, I think I got all of those done now. And swap out my companion. I always swap out the companion to Murray because she likes the foods that you craft. Where, I don't know which ones they are, but I think there's one or two of the companions that don't like when you craft alcohol. And I try to avoid that. So I try to swap out the companions that are affected negatively by anything that I do. For obvious reasons, because I like to maintain the relationship, because you can earn quests from them, unique quest lines from them. And I tend to forget with Ember that she doesn't like fishing, and because I love, you know, harvesting, farming, or whatever, and plants and all that stuff. Whenever I see a node that's like illuminating ahead of me, I always want to run up to it and interact with it. And I usually have Ember as my companion because she doesn't mind that I do like stealth kills and that I'm a vampire or a werewolf, which most of my characters are one or the other. But yeah, she doesn't like fishing, which I think is funny because she's a cat. So I think it's kind of funny that ZeniMax added that particular feature with her.
Good luck with that. They may have worked
But yeah, I run up to fishing points a lot. So hey, look at that, stuff is leveling up. I like to see that. It's always encouraging. I don't think I'm going to be able to open all of these cases, but we'll see. I wonder if I have maxed. Yeah, that's it. I don't know if I've maxed her inventory yet. I should go to the bag merchant at the bank and see if I can buy more slots for her. Because that's worth spending some of my 3 mil on, since I'm constantly filling up my inventory in this game. But I enjoy that. I said that in one of the previous streams that I was explaining that I really enjoy managing inventory. I think it's really fun. Let's see, is there any food of value? Any food that's doubled? Yep, I carry a lot of food. Ooh, too much wheat, white meat. And again, like all this excess food materials I could sell on the guild bank and probably make more, but I don't know, I don't care. Because technically I'm just getting them out of my inventory because they're not worth anything. They're zero gold for each one that I'm letting go, which I don't know if I really care for that. Even if it was just 1 gold, I think everything should be worth something. I mean, it's one of my monikers that I'm always saying. Everything is worth something, except in this game, it's not true. In most games, the at least minimum is one gold, you know, or whatever their currency is. But in this game, they're not shy to outright make it worth nothing. And I don't really care for that, but you know, whatever. I'm choosing to play it, so what am I gonna do? Except maybe reconsider selling it in the, hey, a recipe. Selling it in the guild store. I guess, and maybe there is a way to do this. I guess I would prefer that this game was more like World of Warcraft, where you could just sell market stuff on the open market. The guild store, it's like it has to be specific to that guild, and the markets vary between each guild. Sometimes there's certain items that just won't sell because they don't need it. Nobody needs it. It's weird. I don't know why. It's interesting that it's set up that way, but it could just be my misunderstanding as well, because I don't engage with the market all that much, the player market, because I just found it over complicated and inconvenient. So I was like, I don't really want to bother with this. Where in World of Warcraft, it's very straightforward. You have the open market. It even tells you, like, it'll let you cross compare values per piece that people are selling items for. So if you want to be competitive, or it'll do like the average price, and if you want to wait, so you can post it at the average price, and more likely the competitive sales are going to sell first, but they wash out pretty quick, and then eventually the average price becomes the selling price for the items that you posted when you're patient. It's very intuitive and easy to learn, where I don't find that to be the case in ESO. I find it to be more counterintuitive than anything, so I just I don't really bother with it. But I don't mind you know, doing my writs, gaining materials, selling them to the merchants. I mean, I've made a ton. I've made 3 million doing that, you know, like that's I mean, 3 million might seem like very little to most players that do engage in the guild market, but for me, I think that's pretty impressive. I don't know, I'm happy with it. What am I up to? Oh yeah, I need to go to the bank. And then I'll finish doing those material maps, or what are they called? Like I like make up names for things because it makes sense to me in my head, but like, what are these called? Slottable items. Oh, survey? They're called surveys? Alright. And she's got a lot of them. Whoa, I mean, like, that's what's filling up her inventory more than anything. So I need to get those done. And you get a lot more extra materials by doing those. Like, I get so used to just running around the world and finding nodes all over the place. And then I've put off doing the surveys, and unfortunately, like, that's really where the materials is at. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. Had to do some quick math. I always try to keep at least around 5,000 on my character, or 4,000 plus, you know, to get to 5. So I'll have to like sit there and think, like, based on what I'm carrying, what the difference will be. And I'm not the quickest at it, but sometimes I have to do it a few times. I'll be off by a couple thousand, so then I have to, you know, submit to the bank a couple of times to get it right. And let's see. I'll go through the foods, make sure everything's at 200. Yeah. Except for the ones that aren't in the bank. Oh, I need to break those down. Okay. And traits. And then all the surveys I need to do. I don't know why they put wood after your trophies. It seems like your trophies should be last. Like, why isn't woodworking right after blacksmith material? It should be like right after that. Yeah, blacksmith. I don't know. It's whatever. I just think that's interesting. Split these stacks until I can get some in there. Let's see. I think it's like a difference of, I'll say around 20. Go there and see if that'll go in. Yep, okay. Good enough. And then I'll just sell the extra. What was it? Extra woodworking? And see, now it's not at the bottom. Woodworking, it's at the bottom when you go to the bank to submit the materials, but it's not at the bottom when you come back to market that material. Whatever. I like consistency in the menus because I want to spend as little time in the menus as possible. By memorizing where stuff is located and just quickly, you know, doing my clicks. Even though I like inventory management, but it's like I want it to be consistent so I can do it quickly. But, you know, it's whatever. Ooh. More mats. Did I get any jewelry? Yeah, I did. So getting jewelry to dismantle is rare, so it's always kind of a little extra thrill to get. I'm such a dork. To get some kind of jewelry to deconstruct is what it's called. I always get a little kick out of it. Let's see.
Everyone, even not.
Did I get anything extra? Yeah. Although I can submit that to the bank, so I'll go ahead and do that. I always try to deactivate my pet companion, like my bear for this class, and sometimes I'll try to do the same for my I think what is it, a sorcerer or whatever, just so they don't interfere with other people. But in this one, it's easy for this class because my second rotation doesn't have the bear to summon. So when I switch weapons, it just deactivates. Where on my sorcerer class, if that's what it's called, I'll have to double check that. They're on both rotations, so it's harder. So you have to like actually click on the ability, switch its placement, and then switch it back to deactivate them. So it's not as convenient. So I don't always deactivate them, and there's two of them, so they're likely interfering with people even more than my warden, but oh well. I think technically even your non-combat pet and companion can interfere with people's ability to interact with crafting stations and stuff, so I guess I'm not really being all that convenient, but that's alright. Where is it? Up north. Bankurai. I like Bankurai. It's a very cool region. Just north of the Alkir Desert, so it has kind of like a traditional plains and forest setting, but also has denizens from the Alkir Desert, like the Red Guard and the Khajiit, along with like humans. So it's a very diverse, racially diverse region, but then aesthetically feels more akin to what I'm used to in my real life, which is kind of like foresty, rainy, overcast, that sort of thing. So I really like Bankurai. Even though the name sounds deserty, at least it does to me. It sounds like something the Red Guard or the Khajiit would name a territory. But I think it's predominantly humans here.
You're just the type Sergeant Antibes is looking for.
I could be wrong, but it just has that medieval human, predominantly medieval human population. But I like that it's diverse. I like regions like that. Like Murkmire, I really enjoy. It's a massive swamp. I really like the setting. Because it just feels really deep and gritty and wet, you know. But it's pretty much all Argonian, which makes sense. That is kind of I don't know about kind of. It's the origin area of their race, so that would make sense. But it's not very diverse racially, and that kind of bores me. But it makes sense that would be the case. It's not like that's bad lore writing or anything like that. I prefer those regions that are kind of like somewhere in between, where the origin of that race is. So like Vardenfell, I know a lot of people love Morrowind. I get that. And then Stonefalls and Deshaan, however you pronounce that. They're great places. I really enjoy them. And I even get a kick out of the Dark Elves themselves, even though they're slavers, and I don't care for that. But I like their snarky, sarcastic attitude. It's fun, but again, not very racially diverse. And not until you get into about Deshaan, and Shadowfen is it start to become a blend of the Argonian and Dark Elves and a little bit of human. Well, humans are kind of all over the place, but because they like to migrate and conquer shit, so they're everywhere. But yeah, like Shadowfen, and then Blackwood is great too. That's another one of my all-time favorites, and that's a blend of like Imperial humans, which technically means Nord, because the human empire, its origin is with the Nords, as I understand it. And you get the Argonians, and you get the Dark Elves, all kind of blending together in a really great environment too. The ecology is like swampy, also foresty. Blackwood's probably my favorite zone, actually, come to mention it. Yeah, I was really psyched to get that DLC when it came out. And I buy all the DLCs because I don't pay the monthly subscription regularly, or hardly at all. So I buy the expansions according to the ones that I want. I haven't gotten the latest one yet, but I probably will, because it incorporates my favorite of the gods. The princes. What are they called? Draenor? No, I'm mixing. No, that's a race in World of Warcraft. I can't think of what they're called right now, but the gods in Elder Scrolls. Daedric, or Daedra, I don't know, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. Anyways, Hermias Morris, if I'm saying it right, he's their deity of knowledge, and he's also very Lovecraft inspired aesthetically, and I like that. He's he's got many eyes and tentacles. And he speaks very proper, deep and slow, confident. I really like that about him. He's cool. And I don't even really care much for the Daedra personally. Not as characters, they're great, but just as by principle, I don't like how much they meddle with mortal affairs. But they're they're a compelling antagonist. So. So I obviously I understand that that's a major part of the lore of Elder Scrolls is the fact that they interfere so heavily. But most of their archetypes I don't really care for. Like one of the most popular is the jokester. His name will hit me eventually, but he's basically like the DC Joker of Elder Scrolls. A lot of people really like him. I don't like him. I find him inconvenient and annoying most of the time. I just want to hurry up and do the deed that he requires and move on. Get the hell away from him. Because he bogs everything down. And like I think even the trope of him like not taking anything seriously and constantly making a mockery of everything, it gets old. I don't know. It bores me. I just find that I'm sitting there waiting for him to like get over his diatribe of jokes and whatnot, so I can move on. Where Hermias Amora, or however you pronounce it, I really like him. I'm intrigued by anything he has to say at any time, pretty much.
Reachmen in North Glen? This is terrible.
There is that spider deity. She's all about murder and seduction. She's pretty cool. I like her, and she comes up quite a bit in this setting. So I do enjoy her. Trying to think. There's another like female deity that unless it's the same one, but her whole theme has to do with like living in the twilight. Like when you go to her zone, it's always like at a twilight setting, like the sun just about to set, so everything's like purple and gold. It's really cool. I'm trying to think of what her representation is, though. Her like affinity or whatever you want to call it. Her realm of influence. That might actually even be the same deity that I'm like thinking is two different ones, but I'm sure anybody that's familiar with the lore of Elder Scrolls will be able to correct me on what I'm saying. Like I love lore and I try to get into it to a point, but I'm not very good with names and I forget often details like that. Like the realm of influence and that sort of thing, but instead it's like I understand on a broad scope. Ooh, I'm gonna go get that shard. On a broad scope, that like the deity's origin and the overall like how Loki Lokar, the guy's heart that like was in Morrowind, him being like the original designer of the world. I can't see, again, I'm not quite getting the name right, but but I'm close in understanding like he created the mortal world and tricked a bunch of his peers to contribute their essence into creating the world, while and I think that's where you get the 9 divines, or the 8 divines in the Second Era. And that's why their influence is a little more limited, where the other divine peers didn't contribute their essence, and remained at the 8s are called Aedra, I think, where the others, and I don't know how many there are, they're called Daedra, and they didn't contribute their essence in the creation of the mortal world, so they sort of get to retain their own essence, but they meddle with the mortal world. Come to think of it, I don't know why do they do that. What's their motivation to meddle? I'll probably have to look into that. Like why? What's the point? Like, are they trying to destroy? Are they trying to destroy Mundus? Oh, you interrupted me. To like bring their Aedra peers back? Like, I wonder what the point is. Again, if somebody knows, post it in the chat, and I'll check that out. What was I doing? Oh, I was just trying to get out of here, but I got interrupted. Now I'm all distracted. Green shade. I think that's near the Wood Elf's tree here, so I'll go to that portal or shrine, whatever. Yeah, I got so distracted with like trying to think of what their motivations for the Daedra to interfere with the mortal world is. And I think I misquoted and said like the origin of the Aedra and the Daedra came from Lokar or whatever his name is that created the mortal world. That's not true. I think he's just a peer. If anything, their origin is from Sithis, which is personified, but like Sithis actually isn't of agency in the way that the other deities are. It's more of like a concept. But you know, that's where it gets tricky. Is like, is Sithis the grand void prior to existence, or like is it? But then you could say like, yeah, but then that also makes him like the great father of all things. You know, like from him came everything or whatever. That's how storytelling, you know, creates lore and whatnot. But yeah, the closest personification to Sithis, I believe, is I can't think of her name, but the gal that sacrificed her child in Sithis's behalf. And she's the gal that was in the coffin in Skyrim. That jester, Cicero, I think is his name, was like the guardian of her. Yeah, something like that. I think I have that kind of correct. Maybe not exactly correct. I don't need to be in here. I missed the shrine. I get distracted with my attempt at lore explanations, but that's the other problem with not dedicating myself to a single MMO and playing multiple MMOs is I start to kind of like blend some of the lore together by accident, because fundamentally they're very similar in terms of like deistic storytelling. They all have like an origin story of the universe, and then how the deities came to be and expand, and how magic is the life force of all of that. And the mechanics of magic varies between each game, but is still very similar fundamentally. So trying to think of like the pantheon of Daedra and Aedra in this game could very much be compared by archetypes with the pantheon, the Titan pantheon of World of Warcraft, and each archetype could be cross-compared even. I'm trying to think of one to do right away for Sigaris. Maybe that would be I can't think of what that Daedra of destruction is called right now, but he's the primary antagonist of Blackwood, which I just admitted a moment ago was it's my favorite zone. I just can't remember that particular Daedra right now, but Dagon, is that what it is? Dagon. maybe he's kind of like Sargeras. Maybe. I don't know. In which case, all those deities are representative of real life, historical, deistic mythology as well. So you can make those comparisons. I'm sure they're, you know, like if Sargeras and Dagon are, as I think they might be, fairly equally comparable, then maybe they're comparable to, say, Satan of
Am I
Christian
hallucinating?
religious mythology, or trying to think of one for the Nordic pantheon right now. No, but you know what I mean. Like those archetypes are reflective in the MMOs are reflective of deities of real life as well, real history. Ew, you're gross, icky. It's like a possum where I live, but gross, even more gross. Here, kitty kitty. There we go. She didn't send down her bird. I didn't time that right. I probably got so much of that lore screwed up. There's gonna be some lore whores in here that they're gonna tell me how wrong I am. But like I admitted, I try to get it at least some of the fundamentals correct, even if I didn't get the details exactly spot on. I'm just seeing most of it from my own creative writing background. And that's why I call them, like, you know, like I refer to them as archetypes, because they're represented in a literary storytelling sort of way. Oh, what do you want? Oh, you're gonna try to swing at me hard? Oh, you're done. You're gonna fall down. Ooh, you fell down. Yeah, you shouldn't have done that. You're done now. I was just riding through. You should have just minded your own business. Been like, that traveler's just doing their own thing. But I guess all this platinum and gold on their armor might be appealing to some bandits. I like using stealth on bad guys. It's really fun. Oh. Uh-oh. Turned right at the last second there. Watcha. Get you next. Probably not going to be able to get the third one, though. Oh, maybe it'll let me. Oh, okay. Interesting. I usually can get the two and not the third, but that one actually let me get all three. That's cool. The mechanics of the game tends to glitch out with the stealth kills after so many kills after the second one usually. Then it's like, even though you're crouched and your avatar is invisible, but that third target is still swinging and hitting you. It's like, no, it's not how that works, but all right. Let's see, I'm gonna have to figure out how to get up there to get that shard. Oh, there we go. That wasn't so bad. Is there a critter here? Yeah, there's a critter. Let's clear out the critter. Otherwise, it's just gonna interrupt me collecting the shard anyways. Call down your bird. It was already dead by the time you did it. Hey, somebody else is there. That's cool. I always like seeing that. Even though I don't play with other players, I like seeing folks out and about. It's what brings life to the game. Every once in a while, I might get like a group invite from somebody just because I happen to be around doing the same quest they're doing, and I'll accept. But when they start chatting with me, I don't respond. Too busy playing, you know, got my hands on the controller. So, and then as soon as whatever that quest is that we're doing or boss is killed, I usually just leave the group and move on. Because I don't want to get myself pulled into an extensive conversation that's going to distract me from actually playing the game. So, but I like that folks are out and about. That's why I like playing MMOs, even though I play solo. And I enjoy it in a controlled environment like Elder Scrolls or another one. Or World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy 14. Controlled environment meaning like if I try to open up my my online features on No Man's Sky, which is another one of my favorite games, then it invites people to come in and start doing destructive things, unfortunately. So I don't do that. I only periodically will team up with somebody in NMS to do like a group mission at the Anomaly. And that's about it. Same with Minecraft. Like when I play on an online server, I try to build all my stuff in a zone that's like away from everybody else, just to avoid the potential for grieving, because it's not exactly a controlled environment. The server I play on does have like area, like zone assigning to certain players. Like you can pay for property, and then you can set up restrictions within your zone to prevent people from editing that area. So I guess in that case I could hang out with somebody, but then what's the point? Because the point of the game is to be building, and if I've restricted somebody from building on the property that I've claimed, then it's counterintuitive to even playing the game and hanging out with me in the first place. So, and I just don't I don't risk grieving. I put a lot of work into, you know, stuff that I build in No Man's Sky or Minecraft, and I'm not interested in risking having it ruined, because that's all that grievers do. Is like it's like it's harder to find somebody who actively wants to help build something than it is for a griever to come in and wreck the stuff that you've already built. At least in my experience, that tends to be the case. So it's easier to spot a griefer. I've been pronouncing it wrong. Griefer. Because even like I've played on servers years ago where I was like in a group of like, I think it was like 5 people, and we were all building together, and then just impulsively one of those people, because I don't know them on a personal level, I only know them online, they get the impulse, they get that tickle, you know, and they'll ruin a bunch of shit and then they leave, and it's like, you know, and if you have the means to like set the time back on the server to bring it back, you can do that. Or if you have tools, you know, mods that are that you have assigned to your server, if you're the host or whatever, to undo the damage. But then it's the fact that you have to go through all of that. You have to deal with it now, you know, where it's just easier to not trust and not deal with people's destructive impulses. So I don't. But I still like playing MMOs. GTA is another one where, Oh, do I have another one in this area? Oh, I didn't even go there, but now I have to merge anyways. GTA is another game that I really love playing, but it's like I always play on my own secured, in my own secured session, for friends only, and I don't really have any friends, or at least the few friends that I do have in that game, they do the same thing I do. They just host their own secured session to run their MCs and CEO businesses, and then make their money, maybe do a heist here and there, and then log off. So it's like, it's another game that I really enjoy playing, but it's like 98 or more percent other players are either modders or other players that just want to grief. They just want to blow up your sales or whatever. So,
Prophecy.
and that's why pretty much the only time I do play with anybody else is in a controlled environment like a heist, or at least, you know, for regular players. Modders screw those up all the time, but that's on Rockstar. You know, like they can't create a secured online environment. It's too late now, because modders are loose everywhere. But yeah, I mean, every once in a while I'll go to a public session just with the expectation that somebody's gonna, you know, kill you or whatever. But that's like why I go in there, is just to kind of see how chaotic it can get. When I have nothing to lose, I'm not running businesses or anything in a public session. I'm just there to see what people are up to, and then maybe, you know, have somebody pick a fight with me just for the shits of it. And with the expectation that that's going to be the experience. I think it's funny when folks will log in. That's how they play the game. They try to run their businesses and stuff in a public setting, in a public session, and then complain when somebody wrecks their stuff. And it's like, that was like, that complaint was legitimate like a year ago, but then once Rockstar opened up that you can run all your businesses and stuff in a private session, there's no complaint to be had. That's on you now. Like, you're just taking the opportunity to complain about something. That's all you're doing. You know? If it's a problem for you, then just run a private session.
Believe what you like. I'm glad things have gone down there, whatever the cause.
But I still hold Rockstar accountable for getting it wrong in the first place, for allowing mods to be utilized in the online feature. Like, I don't care about mods in like the story mode. I don't mind mods for somebody that's just doing it for their own sake. For, you know, if they have a mod that changes their avatar or car to perform a certain way, that doesn't bother me. It's any of the mods that interfere with other people's gameplay. That's the stuff that I don't care for. And money mods. I'm really against money mods, because it ruins a game's economic infrastructure. And I like participating in a game's economy. And when you got mods that can just dump money at any time on anybody, it completely ruins the motivation to bother with the market. And the vast majority of the money that I have on my characters in GTAO is totally legitimate, mostly from running Heyo and MCs. One of my accounts has been dumped on a couple of times by a modder, and I quickly leave the session to get out of there. But, you know, every once in a while I'll get dumped an illegitimate, you know, 5 mil or whatever before I get out. But other than that, like, that account, I think that's been dumped on is rocking like 40 something million at this point, because I have capped it out, and then I bought a bunch of stuff, and then I did a false ticket with Rockstar telling them that I got dumped a bunch of money on me, and and they took away the what is it, like 4.5 billion or whatever the cap is. I forget right now, but to take it away just so I could start over. But so now she's down to like 40 million, but most of that is legitimate. And then my other account, I think she's sitting at like 130 million, and that's completely legitimate. She hasn't, as far as I know, she hasn't gotten dumped on at all, money bags or anything like that. So. And then that 140 million is, again, from running Heyo. I did an equation back in the day when shortly after Heyo released, that if you run 3 months worth of hours running Heyo exclusively, and maybe doing like like $100,000 car sale here and there, and a couple of CEO and MC jobs or whatever, but mostly just running Heyo solo, in 3 months' time, in-game time, you can cap out your account, and I did it. I think I did it in like half a year, because I didn't completely focus on doing just Heyo, but you know, because I would you know, you take breaks and dick around, pick fights with people once in a while or whatever, but but I did it. I capped that account out. And then, like I said, did a false ticket with Rockstar to take a bunch of money away, just so I could, because it became unfun to play. Well, I mean, doing the 3 months worth of Heyo is not fun in the first place. It's a grind. So I don't suggest anybody do that. It's really not fun to do, but I just wanted to do it to demonstrate that it could be done. And then sitting on all that money makes the game really boring, because you can like pay for anything you can do. There are no constraints, you know, no limits at all. So like, it almost becomes like pointless to play the game. And then I would go through phases where I would not play just because I was bored, and that's why somebody made the suggestion to make a ticket with Rockstar to trick them to take the money away, and I went ahead and I did it, and they were right. It made the game more fun. It made it fun again, coming back. So, oh, I'm using the wrong style here. I'm using my other character's style. Try to avoid that. And even sitting on the 140 million right now is, and that's not, well, I think some of it's from doing Heyo, like I said, but not grinding Heyo like I did on my main account. That's mostly just from doing MCs and car garage sales. So. And the occasional heist and whatnot. But actually, a lot of it's from the dance club. The dance club makes you so much passive income. It's like every time I go in there, there's like 150, 250,000 just sitting there waiting for me to take. And I didn't even do anything. You know, except for maintaining my club's reputation, so I have customers. But other than that, I wasn't actively doing anything with the dance club. And maintaining the popularity of the dance club is really easy. Every time you go in there, you get a message from your security saying there's somebody in there that needs to be taken home or thrown out or whatever. And by doing that, it chips your popularity back up a whole bar. So it's really, really easy. And then swapping out your DJ periodically, that also fills it up. Basically a bar, sometimes half a bar. Ooh, I want to be careful not to accidentally sell what I've already crafted. I've done that, and then I have to craft it again, and that's a waste of mats. I may have already just done that. We'll see. Let's go to Murray here. And make some alcohol. She likes that. And then switch back to Ember because I trust her. And I didn't disband my summons, as you can see, like I was talking about. But it's because it's not easy to do. Like, to do that, you have to go to your skills. You have to pick the skill. So, like, and remember, this one's the Twilight, that one's the Clanfair. So you momentarily make that one the Clanfair, then put the Clanfair back, then go back to Twilight. So I think they're, yeah, so now they're both gone. But you have to do that every time. I guess it's not that big of a deal to do that, but it's inconvenient enough. Where on my other character, I just tap one button and the bear's gone, you know. And I think my companion still technically can interfere, so like get rid of her as well. Except Murray, when I go to craft a food, an alcohol, just so I can get that bonus. Let's see, is that everything? I feel like I missed something. Let's see. Yeah, it's everything. Cool. Every once in a while there's a craft I can't do because I don't have the material, I haven't learned the recipe, and so I have to cancel it. I do have a small solution to that, which is to level up that particular craft so it can avoid whatever it is that I couldn't craft, to hopefully put her at a level where I can craft the thing in question. But it's nice when I don't have to go through all that. I can just craft it, move on, turn it in, just get it done. I always tend to go to the same merchant when I need to sell extra supplies. I don't think there's any stat for like merchant loyalty to make that beneficial, but I don't know. I just feel like for my headcanon that they sense loyalty. This guy here, even though he's like snotty.
Nothing says luxury like dust covering every inch of your store. It's only matched by the sounds of construction day and night. Lovely, isn't it? What can I get you today?
I like him. He cracks me up. High Elves and Altmer and Dunmer both crack me up. They're so snotty and superior. But it has a certain charm to it when they're it's like it's when you interact with those characters, that it's like, it's not, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not aggressive. It's like it's insulting but not aggressive. It's actually kind of playful. I get a kick out of it, and I like that in certain people in real life too. I have an appeal for personalities that are like that. They're like snarky and insulting, but it's not malicious, I guess is the word I'm looking for. It's playful. But there certainly are characters within those racial profiles, the Altmer and Dunmer, that they are aggressive, and I don't like them. I don't appreciate them, especially when they're slavers. Like the Telvanni, almost all of the Telvanni and Morwen, they're aggressive about their racism or what. Well, I guess racism is inherently hostile, but with their insults and such, to the point to where it's like, if you weren't a main character and if the game allowed me, I would probably go ahead and just take you out. Do a quick save. Quick save. Take you out. Oh, you look majestic. You almost look like royalty. With a pig. Royalty with a pig. I like that. I have that same pet. It gives you an inventory bonus. I have the bat with Zerdawa because she's a vampire. I thought that was appropriate. A little bat flying around with her.
The Red Mount.
Ooh, I didn't realize I have jewelry to deconstruct. Very seldom ever have that, so that's why I didn't even consider going to do that. There we go. Let's go break this down. And then swap characters. Oh wait, let's make sure our NPCs harvest some stuff for her. I think rather than dealing with that right now, I'll come back with and deal with that. Let's see, I don't think I've done Castellana yet. Oh, am I in a fight? What's up? Logged right into a fight. That would be appropriate to Castellana's profile, though. She likes to pick fights. Thought I saw a survey right there. So I like to go to the region that matches the racial profile of the character I'm playing. So with Castellana, I like to, because she's a red guard, I always like to go to the town in Alkir to do my Sentinel is the town. Okay, Sentinel. To do my writs. I feel like I'm saying that word a lot. I need to. That's what they're called, but. Let's see, and I think she usually has trouble doing alchemy. Let's see. I guess we'll find out if that's going to be a problem here. Let's see, is there something I need to do here? Alchemy. No, okay, not a problem this time. Cool. Although I need to get some violet copperiness. I think that's every once in a while, like the enchanting writ and these alchemy writs, they'll require you to get something that I know I have in my bank, and I don't really understand why it doesn't pull from the bank. It does that for from the crabs. What is that called? Chitin or chitin, however you pronounce that. Like I think it's even maxed out in the bank, and sometimes for the alchemy, it'll say like you need to. Whoa, this isn't the right place. You need 3 of those, and it's like, well, it's just pull from the bank. What do you? Why do I have to go to the bank, take the whole stack, split the stack, and then put the rest back into the bank? I don't know. When everything else, at least I think, pulls from the bank accordingly. Like right now, this aspect rune, I think is pulling it from the bank. It's not like pulling it from my own private inventory, but I don't know. Do I already have the, or I didn't pull up that one yet? Let me see, I haven't collected the writs from both boards yet, so I might be confused. I was gonna avoid it, but I just can't. I'm so addicted. Whenever I see a note, I'm just like, it like hurts to run away from it. I just have the impulse to get it. I think that's the point. That's why they make them glow like that, and it's fun to find materials in MMOs. Problem is, by doing that while I'm trying to do these writs, I'm probably going to run out of inventory space. I don't have, well, I guess I do have an Argonian character. But I was going to say I'm using styles from races that I don't have characters of yet. So. Oh yeah, this is the same. Where's the blacksmith? There it is. Like, I don't have an orc character. I'll probably never have an orc character. I don't have a Khajiit. And I'll probably never play a Khajiit character either, even though of all the races in the Elder Scrolls lore, I think that the Khajiit are probably the most interesting. The idea that like they pretty much all coexisted, all the different clans of Khajiit coexisted within their Elsewhere region. Relatively peacefully. There weren't, as far as I understand it, there wasn't a lot of warfare between their clans. They all kind of just coexisted, and then they got hit devastatingly by an outbreak, a major viral outbreak, which I think that's the one that I think that plague was hinted to have been caused by the sea elves, but that the lore also indicates that that might be pure propaganda, that it was actually just a natural phenomenon, but they pinned it on the sea elves as a primary foe in order to engage with them in warfare, which makes the most sense. That seems like that's exactly what the government would do, right? Exploit a disaster in order to try to gain a benefit from it. not to get too conspiratorial, because I don't think the lore outright actually says that that's the truth, but it hints that that might be the case. So, and that's good enough. That's fun.
You're the one
It's
who
good
sent
storytelling.
the collector and Coulson said packing. Your chivalry has no equal.
All right, did I finish all of these? Oh no, alchemy. Oh yeah, I still need to pull the those mushrooms. My lips are getting dry. Let me see, it's called a cap or something or other. If it was called that, I would have skipped it. Let me see. What is it that I need to get? Oh, and I still have to do jewelry crafting. Oh, and I still have to craft a shield. See, I missed a lot of stuff. Violet Coprinus starts with a V. All right. I don't think you can pull just the amount you need. No, see, I have to take the whole stack and then go to my inventory. Oh, that's not inventory. Inventory. Go to materials. Split the stack. Excuse me, I'm burping. Take the 3 I need. And then give him back the larger stack. I don't know, it just seems silly to me. And then I need to make a wooden shield. I got the burps. Gross. And then, let me see, a wooden shield. There was something else I didn't craft. I'm already forgotten. Oh, jewelry, right? No, that's not wood. Wood is out here.
Can't you see I'm busy?
Let's see. And then... oh. Hey. What's that doing? I don't know what that was doing when I was selecting it. Now, some jewelry. Which I think is over here. Unlike the last couple streams that I did and archived on my YouTube channel, I'm not doing I'm not gonna play music in the background anymore, because every time it's submitted to my channel, YouTube says that it's copyright protected, even though the playlists that I was playing were non-copyright restricted. So right now I just have the music from the game playing, and hopefully that doesn't trigger a copyright limitation, but yeah, because I don't want anybody, well, like for one, I don't want my videos getting restricted by copyright, especially since I'm just starting off, but also I don't want anybody else that might use my material for React or whatever, you know, for whatever. If there's music in the background, they won't use it because they don't want to get restricted either. So I'm not going to do music anymore. It just doesn't really seem worth the hassle. I found that a lot of like old videos that I made from like 10 years ago were put into private, and they're just like me on a hike or something, but because I had music in the video, they're now in private and restricted because of copyright. It's like, I don't know, it's not even the whole song. Like a couple of the videos were like for a minute, you know, me just showing one of the trails that I like to hike in my area, but because I had Tom York playing for not even a minute, it restricted me. So, or it restricted the video. So I can't have it on my channel for public anyways. So yeah, it's just it's not worth the hassle.
The horses are...
And it could be my ignorance on how the rules are applied as well. There's probably somebody out there that knows that, you know, a way of confirming with YouTube after it's restricted, to get it unrestricted. But again, it's just not worth it to me. I don't even want to mess around with it. I'd rather just avoid the whole thing. I don't want to have to unnecessarily do extra in order to share content, create and share content.
Just a coin.
I want to be able to distribute my stuff as openly as possible for people to see and for other people to consider taking snippets of me trying to make a point and want to debate it or whatever, react to it. I mean, I'm right now, I'm brand new. I don't even have any viewers or anything. I don't have an audience. So restrictions they're gonna keep me smothered if I don't avoid them. And that defeats the whole point. Let's sell some of this stuff off. I always sell can't think of what they're called, like enchantments or whatever. I'll get there in my inventory here in a second. But when they're whole, and I know you can break them down for their subcomponent parts and then store them if you need them. But I don't bother. And in the same way, I don't break down. I usually sell the outfits and those that are remaining. If they're above a $0 value, I break down anything that's a $0 value, or 0 gold value, because for the potential that there might be materials. Usually there's not, but I still bother. But if it's like a whole outfit that doesn't sell for some reason, or no. My point is I don't break them down. I just sell them as a whole component. And I do the same with the enchantments as well, or glyphs, these things. So I don't break them down. I just sell them. And then like this, like this piece for 57, I could break down for subcomponent parts, but I don't bother. I just, if it's above 0, I sell it. I don't know why that was so hard for me to explain. Oh well. So I have 200 soul gems that are already They already have souls in them, I think, is why they're green. And being that I already have 200, I just sell the extra. I sell repair kits because I don't ever use them. I automatically repair my equipment every time I go to a merchant, pretty much. So now these all I will break down because you get the 280% refined material kickback. So I will break those down. Usually. So like this should give me, yeah. See, I get stuff from that. Where like an outfit that doesn't have that icon for extra material, I usually don't bother breaking them down. I'd rather get the gold. And my logic for why I break down the ones that have the 200 or any kind of like material bonus, my logic is if it's material that I can use, typically the items that I would craft for a writ is going to kick me back more in gold than it would be if I just sold it outright. I don't know if that's entirely true right offhand, but that's the idea. I should double check that, but make sure my math is correct. I may have checked it at one point, and that's why I even have that thought and had already confirmed it, but I don't know the numbers right now. So like if that outfit was about 50 gold up front, I don't have the numbers to demonstrate that after doing a rift I would have gained, you know, like 2 times, 3 times that or anything. Not right offhand. I probably have it on a spreadsheet somewhere. I do create, often I create spreadsheets to demonstrate numbers like that. just to help confirm that like I am doing the most profitable thing in the games. Clother writ. I should check that out. See if I can complete that. Let's go to a clothing station real quick here. Or wait, is it gonna send me? Let me see. It might send me to a specific location. Let's find out. Need to sell that recipe. Vouchers. That was the like an hour ago. I was trying to remember what the currency is for doing writs, and it's these like special ones. You get vouchers, and with those vouchers, then I can buy better recipes for crafting and whatnot. Yeah, let me see. I have to go to the quest. Make that my active quest. Ancestor Silk. Okay. And can I think I can do that anywhere? Is that true? No. Okay, so this is, yeah, I specifically have to go to a spot. Okay. The Reach. It's Nord territory, I think. Oop. I think that's northeast Nordic territory, I think. We'll find out. Where is the Reach? I think it's over here. No, that's the Rift. So where's the Reach? Is that Western? Yeah, that's Western Skyrim. Okay. Mix the two places up. Reach and Rift. Yeah, this place is cool because it has old Dwemer ruins all over the place, and they've occupied them.
Be off, Reeker. Our Caddock refuses to see you. Now go!
Look at that.
Before I gut
Like the mix of like the high-tech Dwemer with the more antiquated Nord is really neat. They have wood pikes up in the windows and shit. That's cool. Very practical. You know, it makes sense. They set up a little garden made of like wicker and wood, and a wood and vine overhang on a high-tech stone and metal architecture. It's so cool. So smart. And the stuff's everywhere. The Dwemer stuff, like up on the hills there, mixed in with the hills. That's the city there. But you can see the Nord stuff added to it. It's so cool. Alright, what am I doing? Oh yeah, there's a crafting station out there. Alright, let's go to that crafting station. I keep whistling. I whistle when I say my S's while smiling. It's dumb. I need to stop that. No more smiling. So I can pronounce my S's without whistling. She likes this.
Magister Irin never let me watch him do it. So interesting.
Ember likes when you extract those glyphs or whatever. Yeah, I haven't even been here with this character. Actually, I think I've only done where am I? The Reach with one character. And it's a really cool storyline. I think it involves vampires. And the character that did this is a vampire, so that was kind of neat. It was like, because the vampires are often the antagonists, and so like an NPC would say all this like mean stuff about, you know, the bloodsuckers and the leeches and, you know, all these derogatory terms, but then they would also add text of them saying like, but I don't mean you, you know, like, because they know that you're a vampire. Like, not you, you're all right, but, you know, those bloodsuckers. I thought that was creative that they added that. Because I've done the Northern Skyrim content on a couple characters, and one of them wasn't a vampire. Oh, I guess it's called Western Skyrim. But yeah, I've done that area with two characters, and one was not a vampire. And they didn't have that, obviously, they didn't have that extra context for that character not being a vampire. So they were slinging all the insults and everything, but then the other character that was a vampire, they would be like apologetic. They like added that content. I thought that was cool. Because they didn't have to do that. Like, they could have still told the story with the character being insulting of vampires and all that, completely disregarding the fact that your player character is of the thing that they're insulting. They didn't have to add that extra content, but they did. ZeniMax did. Is it stealing? Alright, I don't want to steal. I mean, I do like to steal, but not somebody's food. I prefer to steal, like, trinkets and jewelry, you know, stuff that people don't need to survive. At least that's my justification for doing it. I don't want to steal somebody's sandwich, you know, like in Chrono Trigger. I always avoided the sandwich even before I found out that it had any bearing on the court case. And I just didn't want to steal the old man's sandwich. It made me feel bad. Alright, let's see if I can craft this thing. I haven't been able to do a lot of these like special crafts. Oh, looks, no, yeah, see, I don't have Oh, she's not high enough level to do it for that style. I have all the materials, but not... Let's see. What am I doing? I'm doing a tailoring. Maybe I can level this real quick. Do I have any skill points? I do not. Well, let's get some shards and see if I can level it up, so that she might be able to do that craft. Oh, there's a boss here. I don't want to fight a boss. Not alone, anyways. Bosses often will stomp your face in. World bosses, I think, is what you'd call that. They are very strong. I think they're intended for a group fight, is why they're not really meant to be taken on solo. Although I'm sure there's some of you folks out there that can definitely take them on solo, because you have really good builds. I've gone into dungeons, like a random dungeon in a Pugs, and like there will be that one player, and it's usually the tank or the healer, and they can wipe out everything before you even get a chance for your character to swing. They're just slaughtering everything in that dungeon because their build is like incredible. Probably maxed out and specialized, like they know the stats inside and out and the exact right abilities to equip and everything. They're just maxed out. I always like to collect these shrines as much as possible. If they're nearby, I'll try to collect it. That's a habit that I got from World of Warcraft back in the day when you had to hit every single flight master along your travels. I always like doing it though. Ooh, red mist everywhere. It's not good. I think that means there's bad guy activity nearby. Is that a bad guy? Yeah, that's a bad guy. Although I'm kind of a bad guy, technically. As a necromancer. Oh, I did not dodge that. That was a hefty blow. Or block it. If they do it again, I'll try to block it next time. There it is. Although I think she technically missed anyways. I like this bomb skeleton. Look at him go. You're done. Ow. Oh, is that like a vampire dog or whatever? I didn't even get to use my kamikaze. I spawned him, but he didn't even get to do his thing. I really like the Necromancer class. I don't even have to do my full rotation. Well, I'll show what it is real quick. But that, AoE, armor, bomb. And then I'll siphon from the bomb. Oh, he didn't even get a chance to do his thing. I like the skeleton mage there. That guy's neat. Wish he was a permanent. Was he? I think that was a Khajiit sorcerer as well. Give me my stuff. Now where's that? It's above, okay. Trying to get to the shard here. There's a lot of wall. Ooh, that looks like a trail. Maybe? No, maybe not. No, more wall. Try to figure out a way to circumvent this wall. Get up to that. Oh, what's this? This looks like the way. I think we're on the right path now. There we go. Yay, skill point. Alright, let's... What was it that it was? Was it clothing or whatever? It's already at 50. And it's maxed out, so why can't I... Why? Maybe it's because... I need to, like, buy the recipe